Coach Whiter, congratulations on a great track and field season, especially with the state track meet in the books. Let's start with the overall season. Looking back on the season, what stands out most about this year's Belle Fourche boys and girls track teams?
Thanks for having me. It was a good year. Kind of came into the year on the boys' side. We lost a lot of kids, and I wasn't really sure what we were gonna have. But we had a lot of boys step up. If you would ask me at the beginning of the year how many boys I'd be taking to state, I'd say maybe a handful, and I think we took 12 boys to state. We had some boys that were a year older and got a little faster, and we were able to get a couple relays into state, which was good. The throwers on the boys' side were a strong suit all year. We had 10, 11 boy throwers and three or four real good ones. Um, Lennon Clarkson, unfortunately, was kind of hurt most of the year. He's kind of the strongest on that boys team, but it was a good year on the boys side. And on the girls side, we returned everybody but one girl from last year. So I knew we were going to be good on the girls side all year, and we showed it.
Hmm. Coach, what accomplishments are you most proud of as a coach this season?
Um, Going into the state track meet, I thought we had a chance of placing as a team. Um, we weren't bringing a ton of girls to state, so we were going to have to run really well, and we were able to get sixth place as a girls team. So I was pretty excited about that.
You mentioned the boys with 12 going to state. What does that say about the talent and work ethic of that group?
You know, they came in, and very few of them had gone to state last year, and a lot of them, you could tell, were pretty determined to make it. Uh, when it came down to it at the end of the year, they were able to be real tough and run the times that they needed to get in, which was good to see.
Yeah. Let's talk about Gavin Pearson.
Yeah, he was our strongest sprinter coming back. He had a great year last year. He qualified in the Open Four and was real important in some of our relays. I think he ran 51.3 last year, and he really wanted to go sub 51 this year, and was in the prelims of the 400 at state. I think he ran 50.55. Um, Made it into finals, which was awesome. I think he was 14th or 15th coming into state, but we knew he had a fast one. We knew he could get into finals if he ran a good race. And you know what? At the right time, he stepped up, ran sub 51, got into finals, and finished seventh, which was a great way to cap his career off.
Coach, how about throwers Gabe Raba and Joseph McLennan?
Yeah, those two were extremely important to our team all year. They were real consistent, always placing. They would kind of leapfrog each other and who had the farther throws throughout the year, which was good to see. I think Joe finished 14th in shot and disc. It was his first year making it in disc, which was good to see. It didn't have any amazing throws at state, but I think he placed higher than he was coming in. And Gabe, he you know he was going to get a medal. That was his goal, and I think he finished fifth in disc. Got the job done when it needed to get done, which was awesome to see. And we get him back next year, so I'm real excited to see what he can do next year in throws.
And Coach, how about Aiden Kyle?
Aiden, he was coming off a basketball injury, broke his leg at St. Thomas More this year in basketball. We weren't even sure if we were going to have him this year. The first half of the year, he was out. He finally got all clear. I don't know. I suppose it was end of April, early May, and went out, jumped. I think it was 5'10" in one meet, and then 6 foot. Got into state. He didn't get a height at state. They started at 6 foot, which was his PR. But he's a junior. He's got another year, and it was kind of a win just to get him back to state.
How about the boys relay teams?
Um, we had three boys relays: 4x8, 4x2, 4x4. The 4x8 and 4x2 weren't ranked super high. Those were kind of relays. We were just excited to get them there. I think they finished one or two spots over what they came in at, and ran some pretty good times. The boys 4x4 was kind of our real competitive relay. That was Kane Howard, Gavin Pearson, Slater Humbrocht, and Rafe Parmeter. I think we finished 14th, but we were 1 second out of finals, so there was six teams within eighth and 14th. at state. It was a super competitive race. They ran well. We just fell a little short, but that was kind of our bread and butter on the boys' side this year. They ran a third or fourth fastest 4x4 in school history, which was pretty awesome.
And coach, you know, he had a great group of girls with 10 going to state.
Yep. We ran 10 at state. We brought two more alternates. We brought 12 girls total. Real young group, which is always good to see. Jazz Olson was our lone senior. She'll be tough to replace, and I think there were no juniors, so we're pretty much sophomores and younger on the girls' side, which is encouraging for the future.
You know, the Bronx girls really stepped up when it mattered here at the end of the season, finishing sixth as a team in Class A at the state.
Yeah, it. I knew we had a chance. It was going to be tough just because we aren't littering 10, 15, or 15 events like some schools that have kids like in everything. I think we placed eight different groups of girls, relays and individuals, which is pretty awesome. And it got down to that final day, and I would have guessed we weren't going to place. We would have had to be pretty much perfect on that last day of state. And you know what? They stepped up and they all ran their best when it mattered. And yeah, we were able to get sixth as a team, which was a really fun way to cap the year.
Yeah, you know, really great to have the girls 4x100 and 4x200 relay teams earning runner-up finishes at state.
Yeah, those two have been the strength of us all year. We were rated pretty high in the state in all of our girls sprint relays. I think our 4x1 was second going into state, so we finished right where we were. But you know, anything can happen at state. You could drop a baton, you could have a bad handoff, whatever. But for them to, when it mattered the most, get the job done on that 4x1 and get second. And we were running up on Sioux Falls Christian there at the end, which was kind of exciting. The 4x2, I think we came in fourth or maybe fifth or sixth, and we finished second. Into finals, we were fourth. So to able to come out of finals in second place and score 8 points for the team that we needed in order to place was pretty exciting.
You know, Coach, Reese Pearson collected 4 medals at state: 6th place in the 800, 6th in the 1600, 5th in the 3200, and also helped the 1600 sprint medley relay team reach 6th on the podium. Great job by Reese.
Yeah, she's really the backbone of our team. Without her, we would not reach the heights that we did. And that's about as tough a weekend as there is. The 2 mile, and then she ran 2 800s. And you said lots of fifths and sixths, but the girls that are in Class A distance right now are unbelievable. So the times she was running to get fifth and sixth places and things were incredible. She ran a really good 2 mile, a second or two off her PR, and basically tied her PR in the 800. Her mile, which was her last event of the weekend, was awesome. I think our school record going into state was 5:19, and she ran a 5:07. So she broke the school record by 12 seconds, ran a fantastic race. And then our girls medley that got sixth, we broke our school record by 6 whole seconds. We ran an amazing time. There just happened to be 5 other teams that ran incredible times too. I think we would have got third in the double A's with that time that got us sixth in the A's. So she had a weekend that I won't soon forget.
Coach, you mentioned Jazz Olson. You know, Jaslyn collected 3 medals at state.
Yeah, she's our lone senior on the girls' side. She had a hamstring injury last year and didn't get to compete at state, which was unfortunate. But she has been integral part of our sprint relays for years now, and it was really exciting to see her get 3 medals at state as a senior. And she even stepped up and volunteered to run the 4x4. She'd only ran it once earlier in the year, and we weren't going to be able to run it hard at state because girls were busy with other events, and she wanted to do it, which was awesome to see. And yeah, she starts off all those relays. She's the one whose task it is to get us off to a strong start and get us going. So super proud of her, excited to see what she does. I think she's going to BH to play soccer next year, which will be cool.
Which younger athletes emerged this season and could play key roles for the Bronx moving forward?
Well, on the girls' side, we're all pretty young. Maya Nowajeski is going to be our anchor for these next couple of years. She really took a big step this year. Last year, I think she'd run like 13.1 in the 100, and I think she ran 26.9 in the 200. And this year, I think she ran 12.8 in the 100, and then ran some awesome 200s, ran a 26.2 towards the end of the year. Um, and she's you get the baton to her at the end of our relays, and she's the one that is running people down now. A couple of years ago, she was getting run down when she was a little younger, and now she's the one running people down, which is fun to see. Um, but not just her. I mean, we got a whole bunch of young girls. Mika Donovan is another sophomore that ran really well at state. Um, who else here? Ansley O'Brien is a freshman. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about her in a bit. She was super. She was awesome at the end of the year. She just kept getting better and better. And then we had a couple middle schoolers, which is always good to see. Emerson Carmichael is a seventh grader we brought up at the end of the year. I'm excited to see what she does. And Berkeley Norrie's an eighth grader we brought up after Howard Wood, and she had some great races for us. All of them were equally important for us there at the end of the year.
Coach, what lessons will the athletes take away from this season as they prepare for next year?
It's the first time the girls have placed as a team in quite a while, um, but hopefully this just makes them hungrier. Hopefully next year they're thinking third, fourth place as a team. Um, and I knowing this group of girls, I think that'll be the case, and especially bringing pretty much all of them back and everyone having another year under their belt of experience. I hope this season, all the success we had towards the end of the year, just makes them hungrier and want to accomplish more next year.
And when people look back on this season for Belle Fourche, what do you hope they remember most?
That we went out and just competed our butts off every week. Um, I'm always looking for kids that just want to race and compete. Um, when someone's coming up on your shoulder, I want a kid that's gonna go after that person and not just settle where they're at. And we had a lot of that towards the end of the year, which was awesome to see. So I hope they look at this group of kids as a bunch of kids that are competitors and tough kids that just wanna succeed.
And Coach, congratulations! And I know you give a lot of that credit to your assistants.
Oh yeah. Um, Britt Clarkson with the distance kids does a fantastic job. She knows her stuff. I can trust her with those kids, and I don't have to check up on them. I know she's going to be doing what needs to be done with them to have them ready to go. Kyle Grassley with hurdles, high jump. He had a couple kids in. And Ansley O'Brien, I'd actually like to talk about her for a second, one of Kyle Grassley's hurdlers. Um, Midway through the year, she was running high 16s, or excuse me, high 15s in the hurdles. She was going to get into state, like that was going to happen. But the last about four meets, she went like 15.5, and then she ran 15.2, and at state she ran 14.9. She broke her school record this year by 6/10 of a second, about, which is for a freshman is awesome. So he did a great job with her. Um, Samantha Comas was a new coach for us this year, long and triple jump. She had a great year. Got some kids excited about that. Got a girl into triple. Mika Donovan made it into triple jump. And then Kyle Haxton, it's his last year. He did a great job with those throwers, having them ready and kind of leading the way for us all year.
Coach, congratulations again on a great season for the Bronx, and we really appreciate you taking time to visit about the season.
Of course, anytime. Go Bronx.